Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, myself Ananda, and today we are going to explore Snowflake connector in Mulesoft Composer. This connector has been recently added in Mulesoft Composer, and we will see that how we can use Snowflake connector to trigger a flow, as well as how we can send data or information to Snowflake from Mulesoft Composer using the Snowflake connector. So let us explore. So I just logged into Mulesoft Composer and now I'm going to create a new flow. So let's start creating a flow from scratch. Okay. And let me name that flow as demo snowflake, something like that. Demo snowflake connector. Okay. Save it. And then I will start with a system event where what I will do, I will use a snowflake table to trigger the event. Basically, if some row has been inserted to that table, then the entire flow, this Mulesoft Composer flow will get triggered. So let me open this Snowflake. So I just opened the Snowflake connector. Now I'm going to use a new Snowflake connection so that I can show you how to configure the connection on Mulesoft Composer. So first thing I need to give a name. Let me give a name as demo snowflake connector, and then I need to give the role. So now let me show you where from I will get all this information. So this is my trial version Snowflake account, and I have already logged into it. And if I go to this drop down, then it will show me what is the role, what warehouse, what is the name of the warehouse, what is the database, and what is the schema. So let me give the information one by one. So for role, I will give my role account admin. For user, this is my user. For schema, I will give this schema because I have created one more connection before I start preparing this video with the same information. So that's why I'm getting all this information automatically. Otherwise, you need to type this information. So this is the demo clinical study at that database name I have created. For warehouse, I will give this is my warehouse name, and for account name, you will get your account name from here. So this is your account name. So you need to be little bit careful. I mean, you need to know where from you will get the account name. Otherwise, it will not work. So this as I will put as my account name. So if you are using Snowflake trial version, then once you create if you are using a Snowflake trial account, then once you created the trial account, you will get a mail with your Snowflake connection account URL, and from that mail you will get this. You will get an entire URL like this, where from you will can log into Snowflake and work on Snowflake worksheet. But you need to take this highlighted portion as your account name. Now, before I click on connect, I need to provide the password also, but I don't know why this password field is a plain text field as of now. So I'm not sure why it was not password protected field. So I don't want to show you my password. So I will pause this video for a bit. And then once I give the password, and then I will click the connect. So this connection will automatically get created and we'll proceed for the next step. So let me pause the video once again. Okay, now I have created my connection. This is my connection. Connection has been created. Snowflake connection has been created. Next thing, I need to choose an event. So I can either use new or updated row, or I can use new row. That means every time I insert, this flow will get triggered. Or for this, either I can insert or update an existing row. This flow will trigger. So let me add this new row. And since my connection is established, now it will automatically fetch the table details from my schema. So let me search. So there are a lot of tables. Some of these tables are automatically. I mean, it's kind of tables which Snowflake maintain for its own metadata purposes, and there is some custom table which I have created. So I will use this one. So this table actually I created specifically for this demo. So one thing you should understand that when you are using a table for triggering a flow, you need to have a created date column and a updated date column. If you are using new row as your event, you have to provide the created date column. If you are using new or updated row, and if I select the table once, let me show you. Anyways, I'm not going to use this event. I'm going to use the earlier one, but still let me show you. So where is my lot of table? Let me type it. Yeah. So if I use new or updated row, it will ask for the created date time column as well as last modified date columns. Now in Snowflake, it's a standard practice that whenever you are creating a table, you need to add some audit column. That means when you are inserting the row, when you are updating the row. And these fields are mandatory to provide in Mulesoft Composer so that your composer should understand that where from data needs to be picked up. It's kind of it's doing a watermarking. If I mean in terms of Mulesoft database connector, you all know the watermarking concept. The same thing here. So based on that, it will understand that where from it needs to start pick up data or pick up the rows from the Snowflake table. So let's go back to this new row event. Let me select the table once again. Okay, and created date column. I have already, when I create this table on Snowflake, I already added this column. So I will use create date. Let me show you the table structure also. So this is the table structure. If you see, you can see here. Let me show the table structure. If I go to view details, it will show me the table structure. So if you see that I have already created the table with created date and updated date column. And since I created this table with all this column, it's automatically it's automatically showing me all the date type columns here, Mulesoft Composer. So that's the beauty of this connector. And you need to choose one of the date time column as your created date column. On this column, a Mulesoft Composer will do a watermark. Now I have to pick a date where from I should start. Where from I need to start picking up the data. So let me do it from, because I am making this video on 13th December. So I picked up 9 December as my start time. So now I have to select field, means what all field I am going to select from this particular table. So if you can see, I have a one column called ID, and I have one column called name. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these two fields from the from my Snowflake table. So let me apply it. Okay, so this is already done, and based on the data in my table, it automatically starts showing the sample out. So this particular active action, this particular trigger event in Composer flow will finally give me an output of this. Okay, so now I have to add few more steps. So let me add one more step where I can I will use a system action. Okay, and let me see how many rows I have. Let me how many existing row already I have in this table. So let me do a select star. Sorry, we run it. Okay, I have 4 rows. So what I will do, I will, if I mean, I want to see that if I am going to this trigger event, if I'm going to add one more row in this table, and since I have user start time of 9 December, definitely, and all my row I have inserted on 12 December, so definitely it is going to, I mean, going to fetch multiple rows. So I mean, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a for loop. So if I spend this, so this for each I'm going to use. But before I use for each, I will add one more action item here. So I will first pass on the collection. I mean, my collection. I mean, the collection of data set. I need to mention that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this as my connector action. I will select, and what I'm going to select, I have to use a SQL stream. So I will take this entire thing and over here, and I will change it to. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just asking, I mean, I'm just sharing with my composer that this is the maximum number of results set my composer is going to get. So that then next step I will loop through. So if the count is 4, then it will loop through 4 times. If the count is 5, it will iterate 5 times. That's the thing. Let me save it. Okay. Now I am going to select the, yeah. So this is the list of object. Now, so list of object is basically whatever is the output of this particular activity. So you can see that list I mean, this is the beauty of Mulesoft Composer, and it's a zero coding platform. It's only click, no coding. Okay. And it will create a entire workflow, which will actually help me to automate some business process. And as a business person, I'm not a technical person. As a business person, I can easily understand that this particular activity will return back the list of object, and currently based on the data available on my actual table, current count is 4. So I'm going to always get a sample out. Okay, now I have to add some step. What I will do, I will next step, I will add a system action, and now I'm going to add these rows to a Google Sheets. So my connection is already created. I'm not going to show how to, because I just want to focus on Snowflake connector. So I'm not going to show how I created Google Sheets, or how the Google Sheet connector needs to be configured. So let me directly add create row, and then that means what I'm saying is that whatever data I'm going to get, I'm going to insert those as a new row into my spreadsheet. Now I have to provide the spreadsheet name. So this spreadsheet I have already created in my Google Sheet. I can show you my Google Sheet. This is my Google Sheet. This is the spreadsheet name. Uh, and then the worksheet name. I have 3 worksheet. Okay, let me refresh it because I just added the one more worksheet over here. So let me refresh. Let's see the new worksheet is coming, because before starting the video I just created this new worksheet for this particular video. So let me see whether it's coming. Yes, now it's coming. Okay, now I have to select the columns. So which all columns I'm going to update, I mean, sorry, which all column I'm going to put the value. This is ID and name, and now I have to provide the values. So what value, I mean, under the ID, and when I'm saying ID and name, these are these 2 column name, ID and name. So now it's asking under this ID column where which value from Snowflake it is going to populate and which value from Snowflake it is going to populate under this column. So that I need to define. So I will put ID here. So Snowflake ID will map to this ID column, and I will put name here. Yes. So ID and name is going to populate. So that's it. I have completed the configuration, overall configuration. So let me save it. Okay, now it's being saved. Let's now test the overall flow. Okay, let me see. Let's see. Test is yet to start. Okay, I think I need to try it once. Something happened. Let's see. Saving the flow once again. Okay, it's waiting for the test to start. So ideally it should start picking up the data because I've already mentioned anything after 9th December, it should consider as a new row and it should pick up the those rows for this flow. Okay, let me see what is the problem. Uh, okay, I think something it's showing quota limit reach to concurrent design operation. Okay, so let me close it. Let me go outside of it. Let me see. Detail. Now let me go to edit. Let me edit this once again. Now again I'm testing. Okay, now it's showing waiting for trigger. Let's see. Hope this time it's working. Yeah. So the test finished. Everything has been successful. And if I now go to this, I can see one row. Okay. So now you might have a question that why there is one row, because in test mode it is only in this for this for each, because I'm not activated the flow, I'm just using it in test mode. So that's why it's only check one iteration and decided that everything is working properly. So that's why, I mean, even though I have four data in my Snowflake table, it just picked the first one and put it in the in this Google Excel. I mean, sorry, Google Sheet. So let me delete it and let's try out if I can activate the flow and then how it behaves instead of doing a test. Okay, so I have deleted everything. It's again clean like earlier, and now again it's showing something. I don't know what it is. Okay, so now it's saved. Let me see if I can activate. Otherwise, we will move on to the next set of, I mean, then just try it once because sometimes activate takes some time. I will move to, then if it is taking time, then I will move to the next set of demo where we are going to see how we are going to send data from a Google Sheet to a Snowflake table. Because anyways, you can, I mean, you already understand that how the connection needs to be configured and how we can use the Snowflake connector to connect with Snowflake from Mulesoft Composer Flow. So let's try activated it once. Started. Okay. I'm just pausing the video, and once it's done, I can, once it is done activated, we can resume again. Okay, I just cancel it out because that activate is taking a lot of time. I don't know, maybe it's a trial version account and maybe I'm, I mean, doing this for a demo purpose, and this has limited capacity. So, I mean, but I think I have explained that how to create a Snowflake, I mean, how to configure a Snowflake connectivity from my Mulesoft Composer, how to use this Snowflake connector for trigger purpose, means how you can trigger a Mulesoft Composer flow when an event occur on a Snowflake table. Then we have seen that how to create, I mean, how I can create a list of object, because if I have to process a result set or a number of rows together, what I am fetching from MuleSoft in the triggering event. And then we have seen that using that list of object, how we can configure a for each, and then finally whatever I'm fetching, I'm sending it to a Google Sheet. So that's with the one way of, I mean, that is how I am using Snowflake as a triggering event, or how Snowflake is actually initiating the Mulesoft Composer flow. Now next, what we will see the opposite direction, that some other connector we are going to use. Basically we are going to use Google Sheet connector, and we'll see that how we can send data from Google Sheet to a Snowflake table. Basically, we are going to insert the data into Snowflake table using Mulesoft Composer and its inbuilt Snowflake Connect. So let's move on to that. So guys, I think there is some issue happening while trying to connect to Mulesoft Composer. It seems Composer, I mean, from Mulesoft side, it is down, and maybe some maintenance activity is going on. So I think I have, actually my initial plan was to create a single video where I can show both the flows, means Snowflake is actually initiating the Mulesoft Composer uh, flow as a trigger. I mean, some event is occurring in Mules in Snowflake table, like inserting a data or a data getting updated, and that is actually triggering Mulesoft Composer flow, and that will in turn do something down the line. For my case, for this demo purpose, what I have done, I have sent this data to Google Sheet. And also I thought that in the same video, I will show that where some event occurs, maybe I have inserted in some one row in Google Sheet, and that in turn will trigger a MuleSoft Composer flow, and then as an activity, I can use a Snowflake connector, and then the data will insert it to that Snowflake table, and that should complete my video. But anyways, since there is some issue, I think I need to discuss the second part. Definitely, I'm going to create a separate video on that. But for now, I think I am able to clear that how to create a connector to connect Snowflake from MuleSoft Composer, and then how we can trigger a event, and I mean how we can trigger a MuleSoft Composer flow based on a trigger occurred on Snowflake table. I mean, for our case, we have seen that whenever there is a new row inserted, that flow is getting triggered. And then we have seen that how to deal with result set loop through a result set using a for each activity, and then we have sent the data to this Google Sheet. So with this, I'm concluding this video over here. I hope this video will help. If you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. That will definitely going to motivate me for my next video. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with me. Have a nice day. Bye.